Greetings all and welcome back to World of Tanks with Globbits. Right, Matilda. I've done a video on this before, but unfortunately that time the Matilda was on the receiving end of some, well, trolling I think is the correct term. And if you go back and watch my video, Waltzing with Matilda, featuring a chappie in a stug, alright, basically dancing rings around a Matilda. So, I decided, with the amount of difficulty that guy had dealing with a Matilda, I just thought to myself, it can't be that hard, surely. Because to be honest with you, the tier 4s, they're not really anything to shout out about. But what I've basically realised, yes, you've got your Hetzers with the derp cannons and all that kind of stuff, the no-skill derp cannons and all that kind of good stuff. But this thing, very, very interesting piece of kit. The chappie that was in the video that was using the Matilda was actually using the derp gun, but more on the guns later. If he'd have been using this thing with the top end, well, uber cannon, then I don't think the chappie in the stug would have had that much of a chance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out, watch the Waltzing with Matilda stug replay. I'll post it in the link in the description below. Right then, the Matilda in a whole, a bit of a history lesson. Okay, it was used extensively in the desert campaign, fighting the Germans in World War II. It's a real tank. It was used quite extensively during the desert campaign, along with M3 Lees and M2 Stuarts and all Stuarts of some description, all that kind of good stuff. It was used extensively in the desert. And it's basically what the Brits used to do. They had two kinds of tanks. They had your cavalry tanks, which are the really fast things like your Covenanters, your Cromwells, your Comets and all that kind of good stuff, your Crusaders. And then they had these things. Things like the Churchill, the Matilda, which were infantry support tanks. This thing it's designed to be slow, so that infantry can keep up with it, because if any of you know anything about warfare, you can't win a battle with just tanks, you need infantry as well. So this thing was designed to go in with the infantry, and then the cavalry tanks would plug any gaps, assault known positions or known weaknesses, and all that kind of jazz. Anyway, that's a history lesson over with. In World of Tanks though, it plays completely differently, in my personal opinion. It's got 370 health, which is one-shottable for a KV-1S. But then again, the less talk about that overpowered piece of shit Russian junk anyway. Yeah. It's ridiculous, and the sooner it gets nerfed, the better. If it gets nerfed, I'll buy it back. But if it keeps that 122, for me, it's just no challenge. So anyway, rant over. 370 health. So that's a fairly decent chunk of health. I mean, let's look at some of the tier 4s. Tier 4 German. Let's go tier 4 German. They've normally got quite a lot. Let's go for medium tank. They haven't really got one, so let's go for Panzer 3. Panzer 3's got 310. Alright. Let's have a look. Panzer DW-2 heavy tank's got 380. So basically it's got tier 4 heavy tank health. So to be honest, for me personally, it plays a little bit more like a heavy tank than a medium tank. Allegedly it is medium, but to be perfectly honest, it's not. It weighs 27 tons, fully kitted out. Not a very powerful engine. Petrol engine, not very powerful, but then again doesn't need to, because it was designed to keep up with infantry. 24 kilometers an hour maximum speed limit, so it's one of those tanks where you're not going to be zipping around the battlefield redeploying at a moment's notice to any of your friendly team's ineptitude or your enemy team's amazingness. So you pretty much have to decide where you're going to go, look at the enemy team, decide where you're going to go, etc, etc. Traverse speed's not too bad. It turns alright for a medium. Well, not for a medium, but for a heavy, it doesn't turn too bad at all. I'm now going to reclass this as a heavy tank. It's basically a heavy tank in tier 4. The hull armour. Now, the armour is the key thing to this vehicle. 75mm at the front, 70 at the side, 55 at the rear on the hull, and then 75 all the way around on the turret. So let's just go back and look at what's going to be shooting at it. Let's say, for example, you're really lucky and you're getting a tier 3 game. So the Panzer 38T then, it's Top Gun. Penetration on standard ammo, 62mm. Average. That ain't going to pen very often. The NA, 76mm. It's not going to be doing much damage to it. The VK2001, 43mm. 67mm. Let's go to the Yanks. Let's have a look at the Yanks. Let's have a look at an M3 Lee shooting at you, or commonly referred to the turd on tracks. 92mm. Now the M3 Lee could give you problems, but the accuracy and all that kind of good stuff, yeah, it probably pen. But think about it, angling and all that kind of good stuff. T28, with the ZIS-4. ZIS-4 is going to give you issues. Let's have a look at French. What we've got in the French. The B1. Let's have a look at the B1. Universally the worst. Oh, yeah, 66mm. So let's think about it. 75mm on a flat surface. However, that tank's not flat. It's not flat. It's got a flat bit here. But that bottom mantlet thing there is pretty sloped, and this bit cheeks are really well sloped. The lower glacis is minimal. Your 70mm on the side has also got this spaced armour here around the tracks to protect the tracks. That's now part of the game now. That will stop rounds coming in. The back end of the tank, if you shoot back end of a tank, you should penetrate pretty much every time anyway. But yeah, it's a bit trolley. You know, it's not got many obvious weak points. I mean, that bit's a weak point there, I think. I mean, don't quote me on this. I've been known to be wrong before. That's a weak point, but it's not very big. And the angling's ridiculous on some of the things. I mean, if you shoot this flat there, I mean, look at the top. These cheek bits here, that's just going to ping off. So really, all you got to aim at is this bit here, these flat areas, and they're 75mm thick at tier 4. Obviously, if you come up against tier 5s, tier 6s, you're going to have issues. But then again, it's a tier 4 tank, you should have issues. But I have really trolled KV1s in this thing. The turret is brilliant. 75mm all the way around. It's huge target to hit, but it's 75mm thick. It's got a cupola at the top, but to be honest with you, it's not that big. The gun mantlet is massive. You know, I don't know if that little slit in there is a weaker area, but this bit looks really, really thick. I mean, look how thick that looks. I mean, that's huge. So the armour is the real strength of this vehicle. It's a slow, not cumbersome, but a slow, purposeful tank that just trolls people. The gun, however, now this is, well, we'll go on to the gun in a minute. The turret traverses 34 degrees a second, so it can spin it quite quickly. View range isn't great, but it's tier 4, and the signal range is absolutely pap with the top radio. But then again, it's tier 4, so we're not too worried about that. Now the gun selection. You've got a 2-pounder, another 2-pounder, and a howitzer. So let's look at them. Okay, so the first gun you get, the stock gun, is this 2-pounder. Alright, 40mm 2-pounder, 28 rounds a minute. Yeah, so that's 1 every 2 seconds. Yeah, with 100% crew. 78mm penetration, 50 average damage. Not great, but as a starting gun, it ain't that bad. It's really accurate, okay, and the aiming time's pretty good. It's not too bad at all, considering what you're going to be shooting at. You know, you're not going to be penning the shit out of KV1s with this thing, but you're not going to have that many issues with your brother tier 4s. Then you've got this thing, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And you've also got a howitzer. Yeah, a 3-inch howitzer, 76mm howitzer with 15 rounds a minute, so that's 1 every 4 seconds. It's standard howitzer stats and all that kind of good stuff. If you like derp guns, then not a bad issue, not a bad choice. If you're fun of 5, make it a Pimp Tiger 5 Premium, pretty good. But then again, why would you? It's tier 4. Now, let's get rid of these two. This is the thing that makes this tank. Alright, which we will be showing you, or I'll be showing you in the gameplay videos. Right, let's put it into perspective. 1 round every 2 seconds. 121mm of penetration. That's ridiculous at tier 4. That will give a KV1S a headache. Let's just go into perspective. Let's just put it in perspective. KV1 frontal armour, 75mm. Not a drama. The only problem will be the amount of hit points the KV1's got. You have to shoot it like 20 odd times before you can kill it. But it will go through anything it's going to face. You will not have any problems at all penetrating absolutely anything on the enemy team with this gun. And this is the gun that makes this tank, along with the armour. Coupled together, brilliant. Shitty alpha. 55 average damage, which is absolutely garbage. But having said that, it fires every 2 seconds. So let's do the maths. KV1S with a same percentage crew as what I've got in mine, 83%. You'll be shooting once every, say, 14 seconds. That means you can get 7 rounds into him. Yeah, do the maths. 7 rounds. You could do 350 damage to him. Well, in fact, a little bit more than that. Probably the same amount of DPM as a KV1S. Yeah, let's put it into perspective. 1571 damage per minute on a Matilda. Tier 4, medium tank. Alright, let's go into the tech tree. I don't know if you can do it through the tech tree. Do you have to actually own the tank to do average damage? I'm going to have to research that. I'm not being funny. Let's go back to that again. Let's just hover over that one more time. 1500 average damage per minute. A Stug, no, where's the other medium? Cromwell, a little bit more, but that's tier 6. Alright, let's have a look at something a bit more in its league. Let's go for... no. Semantics aside, guys. Okay, 1500 damage a minute. That's ridiculous. And you're going to pen. This is the thing. A lot of things like your KV1Ss and all that kind of stuff, it's alright saying, yeah, well, it's got an 1800 damage per minute. If you miss one of those rounds, you're going to lose a quarter of that DPM. With this thing, miss one, don't matter. Just takes it down to 1530 damage a minute. Ridiculous. So, crew skills. I haven't got any. I've put a 75% crew in this, and to be honest with you, I find it absolutely fine. I will work them up to 100%, but at the moment I haven't. I would probably go for the commander, anything that helps. I'll probably go for things like, I don't know. Oh, he can be the radio op. View range probably for the radio, for the commander at the start. I don't know, maybe repairs. I don't know. You're gonna start off with turret traverse, the snapshot, moving into Deadeye, because imagine that. A gunner that shoots once every 2 seconds, right, with 121 minutes penetration, that increases the damage to cause enemy damage to enemy vehicles, modules and crew. You're going to kill tanks by killing their crew with this thing, if you've got Deadeye. Yeah, and probably maybe repairs to start off with, maybe, I don't know. Driver, anything that makes this thing faster is all good. Probably smooth ride, firing accuracy on the move, off-road driving, for when you get stuck in the soft stuff, or vehicle rotation speed. Mind you, the vehicle rotation not too bad, but probably either smooth ride or off-road driving. And for your loader, just give him repairs, and then probably safe stowage. But then again, if I get to the second crew skills in this, I'll be well impressed. Standard fit of modules. I don't pack premium rounds on this thing. It's pointless. What's the point? It's tier 4. You're not going to have any issues at tier 6 with 121 or an average penetration of 121mm. If you do, learn to shoot. I've gone for a rammer because anything that makes it fire faster is good. Vents and a camnet. Camnet. What could you use instead of a camnet? I don't know. Maybe a spore liner if you want to. Optics, gun lane drive to improve the aiming time. But then again, it's a tier 4. Do you want to spend this amount of money? Something suspension or maybe a spore liner, because it is a bit of an arty magnet or dirt gun magnet. People dirt these things. And go for the top set of modules. So the Matilda then, all in all, a pretty awesome tank. For me, I'd rather have it. It's one of my favourite tanks at tier 4. I really do enjoy this vehicle. I've not had many games in it. Just look at the service record. I've not had that many games in it. Let's just scroll down to the Matilda. Yeah, played 14 games, but I've not been doing too bad. Pretty good win rate. Yeah, I don't survive many of them. I've only had 5 defeats out of 14 games. That's not a bad win ratio at all. Pretty good hit ratio. Done plenty of damage in it. 14 games, 6,000 damage. Yeah, not doing too bad in it at all. I will carry on with my career in it. So, on to the actual gameplay itself then. I've got a game from myself, and then a game from a subscriber who basically puts my game to shame. But we won't talk about that anymore. So, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay then. So, we are in a tier 5 game on Swamp, and it's a 46%er. What's the plan then? I don't know. I haven't really played this map very much. It's a brand new map, and I like the Stug player there. I've never seen it before either. I was in a really good mood. Even all, good luck and have fun from the Globbs. I was in a good mood. I don't do that very often. But in this particular game, I was on a bit of a high. We just come off Merle's live stream, we're on a bit of a win streak. So I thought, you know what, I'll take the Matilda out for a bit of a spin. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Alright, because the Matilda is dog slow. Alright, speed it up a little bit more. The Stug says I don't know where to go on this map. I say camp in a bush and you're laughing, and getting shot is not getting shot is good. So that's pretty much good advice from the Globs there. So T49, kick that Covenanter's arse. We've got 2 tanks down already. And I'm going to go up into this little bit of a hill type appendage up here. I've got no idea where I'm going on this map, I'll be perfectly honest with you. No clue at all. But I'm trundling along at 10 kph up a gentle gradient, using all 190 ponies in my engine, trying to get my sorry arse up this hill. Oh, and a T1 heavy appears. Now, top tier heavy tank. Time to put this gun to work. There you go, 61. Above average damage roll there, 61. Oh, crit no damage. Failed to penetrate. What was I saying on the review? Oh yeah, you don't have any problems penetrating anything with this gun. Apparently T1 heavies are... Also the ground is got a good armor value as well. But yeah, T1 heavies having massive issues killing him. Still got the side of him. No, that's the ground. Ah, side shots. Side shots work. Now, I'm a bit pissed at this point. Okay, I think... Oh! And there's artillery. SU-5. Little scumbag trying to aim. See? Told you. Arty magnet. Support liner. Anyway. So, I make a brutal mistake here. I go after this T1 heavy. Now, this isn't the kind of tank that you can just nip round and take a few pot shots and quickly turn around and reverse away. You can't do that. It's a slow, cumbersome medium tank. So, the back of a T1 heavy. Have this, you scumbag. Take this, yank. No, that's the ground again. Oh! Oh! Taking hits. Taking hits. Taking hits. Oh, get the tracks back up, Globs. Get the tracks back up. Reverse! Pull ahead backwards. Pull ahead backwards, Jeeves. Drive like you mean it. Look at the amount of punishment I'm taking. But I've lost a good 100 hit points there. And that is not... About 150 hit points. That is not the kind of hits you want to be taking in this thing. To be honest with you, my armour saved me. Oh, look, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Globs, look. Globs! I was too busy typing. But by the time he reloads, he dead. That's the 2-second reload. Yeah, I was typing there. That was a mistake. Do I remember to med my driver? Yeah, a Matilda with a dead driver. Not clever. So, what have we seen so far? The armour's really good. The gun's really fast firing. Doesn't do well against derp. And doesn't do very well if you stand on a cliff waving cooey and waiting for the entire enemy team to shoot at you. But that's pretty much generic with most tanks. But so we're just trundling our merry little way, and our KV-1's gone balls deep, and he's about to get his ass handed to him. Yeah, KV-1s are good, but they're not that good. Find myself a bush, and deploy camnet. Actually, on this game I haven't actually got a camnet. That must have been an addition. Oh look, tier 4 tank destroyer. Nom 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 nom. Globs eats tank destroyers. Nom 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 nom. Taste the 2-second reload. I think I actually write that in chat as well. Taste the 2 seconds. Now get a bit of angling on the go and just sit and be patient. I don't think that 76 would have had the view range to see me. I haven't got 6th sense on this tank, but I'm now going to give you a perfect lesson of poor man's 6th sense. And I'm now baiting the tank destroyers in chat as well. Yeah, a poor man's 6th sense. When you haven't actually got 6th sense. Let's just speed it up a little bit. Speed it up a little bit more. Let's get some into the action. Now at this point I tell the VK to go. The VK 2001. Go spot for me, because I can't see anything. Oh, can we take pot shots at this guy? Turret traverse is working for me. No, missed. Sack the gunner. No, he's behind a rock. And I think he's going to get taken out by the plethora of tanks on that side anyway. Yeah, there he goes. Churchill 1 gets him. So let's just speed it up a little bit more. VK does his scouting run, using his view range, and there's a KV-1. Hello, Mr. KV-1. Now that is 400 metres away. No problems dealing with a KV-1. I can't penetrate a T1 heavy, but I can penetrate a KV-1. Yeah. I've got the ammunition storage. I can fire a few pot shots. Just firing into likely positions where he was. But what I didn't expect him to do was charge forward. Now, poor man's 6th sense. Check this out. That position right there. In fact, that position there. See it? He's pointing his gun literally right at me. There's your poor man's 6th sense for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you know he's fucking seen you. Because he points his gun directly at you. And then he fires. And misses. Gets killed. Now, what's the key rule with Sixth Sense? If it goes off, what do you do? That's right. You get in cover. Guess what I don't do? You guessed it. Boom! His mate in the KV1, who was down near their cap circle somewhere, just basically ended me. No big deal. Okay, and I just type into chat, you know, GG, whatever happens, that was a good game, because I really enjoyed it. That's the thing about the Matilda, alright? For me, I don't take it seriously. I just think, it's a fun tactic, go out and shoot people. Because people underestimate it, and in the hands of a half-decent player, okay, they can be quite troll. There you go. I knew that was coming. Thought he had friends. GG boys, well played regardless of the result. I was in a good mood at that point. So anyway, I've got the battle result screen for you. I'm going to show you now. Okay, post-battle screen for that one then. Not the greatest performance I've ever put out, but I thoroughly enjoyed it and I needed some Matilda footage, so therefore I'm using it, so screw you all. Nah, it wasn't too bad a game. 1,000 damage, or near enough 1,000 damage with a gun that only does 50 is not too bad at all. Killed 2 things. I got myself 3,000 XP, 22,000 credits. You're going to make money on this tank. The ammunition costs absolutely peanuts. You're going to get a lot of these in all Master Gunner and Master Gunner and Sharpshooter. Simply because of the accuracy and the rate of fire of this thing. You can attain a Sharpshooter in like 20 seconds on this thing. Yeah, not really much to write home, not fantastic. Finished in the top 3 though, on experience earned and damage. Yeah, these 2 guys at the top, Chief Warhawk and Django, did really, really well, because we were like 12-9 up at one point, I think, and then obviously the AT2, where's the AT2? There he is, Plumco, he did an awesome job, and Palomino Tanks, who killed me, did a pretty good job as well, so yeah, kudos to them. Didn't watch the end of the game, because I wanted to get on to other things. Yeah, 37 shots fired, 27 direct hits, 21 penetrations, 900 damage received, potential damage received, 1,825 potential damage received. That's right. Tier 4 with 370 hit points, managed to get 1,825 potential damage received. That's the armour for you. Yeah. And 4 damage enemies, 2 destroyed. Made 15,000 credits. It costs 1,600 credits to fix, and to fire 37 shots costs you 1,400 credits. I actually paid just as much repairing my tracks as I did for all my other expenses on that game. Right then, so on to the next battle, sent in by a subscriber that basically puts that game to shame. So, be right back. Alright then, here we have Francois85, member of the clan Shag, with his friend 13th Monkey, who I think I've done a replay on before. I recognise that name from somewhere. Have I done you a replay before? Yeah, all reasonably good players. Extreme Flight as well. They're both in M8A1s, grinding up the American tank destroyer line. So, Francois85 is driving his Matilda, and he is about to put me to shame. Now, what he's done, he's put binos and camnet on his. I would imagine he's just transferred the binos over from another tank, and he's just got a Buckshee spare camnet kicking around in his garage somewhere. Yeah, not many people pimp up their lower tier tanks, but it can be quite funny to do so, especially when anything that gives you an advantage is always a good thing. It's a 92% win chance. 92% chance to win on XVM. It's basically a smash and grab seal clubbing extravaganza. Okay, there are some guys on this thing with efficiencies of 38, 95. Okay, the enemy team are absolute dog shit. However, people that aren't very good can always surprise you in one way or another. So, first things first, Panzer 1C. Panzer 1C, you do not want to be shooting at a Matilda in a Panzer 1C. And there's a Hetzer. Hetzer's gonna Hetz. Alright, T1 Heavy at range. No, it appears he's having the same issues with the T1 Heavy as I did. Alright, screw it, let's drive forward, says Francois. Screw this, I'm going train tracks. There's an M6, or an M4 even. He's using the dirt gun. Hate to break it to you, M4, but the dirt's been nerfed. He's on fire, and he's basically sitting square on in front of a Matilda until he dies. Yeah, 566 damage already. And you know what? He's made his way down the train tracks, so he's going to take the train tracks. Screw you guys, I'm going this way. Cutting across. Oh, T1 heavy. He's a two-shot if he rolls high. 116 health. Most of the tanks that'll be a one-shot. Oh. One into him. Sorry, my bad. Made that a three-shot. So you have to use another shell. He seemed to have a better of a time with that T1 heavy than I did. Probably he got a different class of T1 heavy. You know, I got all the like really heavily armoured ones that come off the production line first or something. Extra armour and stuff. He's got the Friday afternoon one, with job and not one, when everyone wants to go home. Hetzer, no. Oh, Stuggy. Can we get the Stuggy? Yep, Stuggy. Shoot Stuggy. Yeah, take out Stuggy. Oh look. Now, let's just pause it a second. The entire flank's pretty much lost. If we look down here, you've got KV-1, Crusader. I mean, what's that got down there? I don't know, I can't see what it is. Stupid XVM. It looks like there's a Churchill down there as well. So that side's pretty much lost. So, time to do. Oh, it's a medium through. Working this common answer. Pom-pom. You think you're going to penetrate a Matilda with a pom-pom? Not going to happen, bro. So, Commandant does a wise thing, uses his mobility to tactically redeploy and re-engage, or basically run away like a big fat girl. Churchill 1, oh, they've just wrecked that KV-1. Oh, sorry, the Valentine AT there. The Valentine AT is definitely a glass cannon. So he's using his enormous speed and manoeuvrability to chase these guys down. Working down this KV-1. Any tier 4 that can whittle down a KV-1 like that, it's got to be worth it. Got to be worth getting. Good lead on that shot. Oof. Go home, Covenanter, you're drunk. So basically, he just whipped up that entire flank and just basically just wound them all up, basically. End of story. What's he? I think he's stopping to type. Om nom nom nom. Oh, the guy's got a sense of humour as well. Fantastic. Om nom 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 nom. Matilda likes KV-1s. Matilda likes tier 5s. That's a good job, because you've got a Churchill 1 and a Panzer 4 to kill. When the Panzer 4 is on 4 kills. I think the Panzer 4 is using the dirt. It'd be stupid if he isn't. 105mm dirt on tier 5. It's always good. Yep. He's using the short barrel 105. Is it 105 on those things? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it is. 105. I should know. I got my highest ever kill score in a Panzer 4 with a dirt. Oh, missed his first shot. Yeah, it took that Churchill a while to realise he was there. Look at the rate of fire of this thing. Bounce to the Churchill and just keeps planting shots into him. He's bored of the right hand side of the turret. Let's shoot the left hand side. Boom. And the Hetzer kill steals. The Hetzer should have probably shot the Panzer 4. But hey ho. He's going to regret that. Yep, there he goes. Boom. Concentrate on your own targets, Hetzer. Can we get the kill shot on the Panzer 4? You bet your ass we can. Good game. GG! Okay, let's look at post-game stats on that bad boy. Mastery badge. Nom 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 nom. Not bad showing at all. Absolutely put my replay to shame, that one. However, with a scrub team, you know, with this thing, they don't know where to shoot you. They probably don't know a weak point if it walked up and smacked him in the eye. You know, you're going to reap a harvest. That Churchill one, you know, why the hell was he facing sideways? But then again, you caught him. You know, you caught him napping. He wasn't looking at his map, etc., etc., etc. So it earns him 36,000 credits and 3,780 experience. He has got 100% crew, and he's taken camouflage. Very interesting choice. Oh no, that's his T-28 prototype crew. My bad. Eyes of the Globbits. Not the Eye of the Tiger, the Eye of the Globs. Yeah, wrong crew. Never mind. Yeah, so let's have a look at the next one. 1,260 base experience. Yeah. That's significantly more than anyone else on his team. It's 3 times more than the next highest person. Yeah, he did a really, really good job there. put my replay to shame. Fired 43 times, hit 40, penetrated 35 times. Yeah, and the resupply costs, let's just bear this in mind, the resupply costs were less than 3,000 credits, less than the cost of a repair kit, and it made him 34,000 credits. You know, he doesn't actually need it, 'cause he's got 12 million credits himself. He's obviously a very experienced player, and he's got 221,000 convertible experience. But that's pretty awesome. You know, 34,000 credits made on a tier 4 tank. So, hope you enjoyed that little bit of a replay type of thing, guys, and a little bit of a look at the Matilda. Go get yourself one. I want to see more Matildas. They're awesome. Obviously, if I'm driving a tank that can't penetrate one, please stay away from me and do not please refrain from shooting me. But I want to see more Matildas in the game because I think they're cool and I enjoy mine. So, again, if you enjoyed the video, guys, please subscribe. Thank you, Francois, for sending that replay. Any more coming in now? I'm going to have a bit of a thing about these replays, guys. If you don't send me all 3 battle results screens, okay, I'm going to whittle it down. I'm not going to show them. Alright, I've got to try and whittle this down a little bit because I'm getting loads. Loads and loads and loads and loads. And I don't want to be offending people. To that end, if I don't show you replay, it's not that it's not good enough. It's either I haven't got time or I'm just getting round to it. Alright, I've only got a certain amount of time, certain amount of time to make these videos. I'm doing this on a Saturday morning, for Christ's sake. What I should be doing this on a Saturday morning. I should be out like rambling in the hills, or I don't know, driving my car around the coast or something, but I'm not. I'm sat here making videos. So to that end, guys, yeah, don't be offended if I don't use your videos. And if you send me one without the 3 screenshots in an email, okay, don't post me links to what replays because it only gives me the first screen. And make sure there's something special as well. Many thanks to all of you that have sent the replays in. I'm going to be making a few more videos, but I've got to have something special to talk about. Think about it from my perspective, okay? I haven't got your knowledge of what you were thinking and all that kind of good stuff. I've got to try and decipher it. If it don't make no sense, you know, and I struggle, I'm going to refrain from using them. But keep them coming though, because I really am enjoying it. That sounds a bit of a weird statement. I want them to keep coming in, but don't keep just sending me all this, not garbage, but the mediocre type stuff. I'm going to say minimum is mastery badge, minimum's mastery badge, or something special. And if it is something special that you like about the replay, send me a description of what you were thinking in the email. Alright, send me a description of what you're thinking in the email. Alright, but other than that, guys, it's been an awesome ride so far. Let's keep it going. Plenty of comments in the box below, and I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourselves. Glob signing off. Bye now. Take care.